Hello to you, Heidi. What has the news and the reaction been to that news?
Well, Gareth, we understand that union leaders, we were actually here early this morning when we saw union leaders addressing their members to say this is what they've put on the table, and it seems as though union members are happy with what has been presented to them, and that seems to be a 5.9% salary increase, but then a 2% salary increase in the coming months. So they will eventually get that 8%, but in increments. And of course, that is what the union leaders have been presenting to the members here, the SAA workers that have been striking for 7 days. It's yet to be confirmed from SAA whether or not that was in fact put on the table, but we do understand that the unions briefed their members about that and basically saying, do you agree with this? If you do, you need to sign this, and we will take that mandate back to the airline. And that's actually where union leaders are. They're discussing this with SAA executives and management to say this is what our members want. They're happy with this, they're not happy with that. So it appears as though there's kind of a sense of excitement, if I can put it that way. People are probably happy that the strike is coming to an end and they can go back to work on their demands having been met, specifically that's the fact that retrenchments are suspended for now. The airline has put that on the table. So it seems as though members are pretty calm. Lots of them haven't even come today to SA headquarters. Lots of them are actually standing under the shade waiting for their members to say, we've put the pen to the paper and it's a final deal, the strike is over. So we're going to have to wait and see what union leaders say when they come back.
And as far as the return to work, now that it seems some sort of peace accord has been reached, is there any talk of when SAA will get all of their staff and their striking union members back to work? Will it be this Monday? Is there a timeline?
It's such a critical question, Gareth, because we know that workers have been out of work for 7 days. Today will be the 8th day. But some members that we have been speaking to on the sidelines have expressed to us that some of them even wanted to go back to work today, but they don't have access to the headquarters. They can't get in. Their access tags aren't working, so they're going to have to wait and see when the airline reactivates that. But basically we understand there's a cool-off period which is about 24 hours and it will be imperative for them to get to work as soon as possible so that SAA can get those flights back in the air and there won't be such a significant financial loss for the airline for more days, given the fact that we've already seen a loss over the last 7 days. But workers saying that it could possibly as early as tomorrow, Sunday, and then definitely on Monday it will be in full swing. All
right, Heidi, I understand there's also, as has been very important the past few days, a number of our sound bites from SAA and the various unions. We've been making sure to bring those to viewers today. We understand we've got a sound bite as well that takes us forward in this story. Can you tell us about it?
So, Gareth, we understand that the South African Cabin Crew Association spoke to us a little earlier on, where they indicated that this is what we've put on the table, and we want that 8%. And even though SAA is saying they can't afford the 8%, we've presented a plan to them to show them that in actual fact there is money within the airline. They just need to relook at the procurement deal. So let's listen to what the Cabin Crew Association had to say about that.
What was offered by the airline is the guarantee of salaries that are going to be paid November and January. They will be delayed, but for November, December and January, they are going to be paid now. And in terms of our demands, we have been looking at the 8%. It has been achieved. But in terms of the achievement, we looked at an issue of the 5.9. At first, the company said that it's subjected to certain conditions when they receive money and pay other people. What we've managed as Sacca Numsa is that before they give other people, they need to give the workers. That's the first issue. That will be paid in the payroll of February. Then the back pay will be paid by end of March. And then furthermore, what we had to think out of the box. We became responsible as unions to say that how do we then work and make sure that we make things happen. regarding SAA, because we know for sure that there is corruption. So we're going to create a task team that is going to be facilitated by the CCMA. The task team's role is to make sure that issues of corruption are identified and the savings covers the 2.1 and adds into the 5.9%.
So basically you guys will be getting the 8%, but it's going to be in increments?
Yes, definitely we are going to be getting the 8%, and as unions we want to save this airline.
Oh, Heidi, just a final question then. I imagine as we head into the weekend, the unions involved are going to want to convey this potential wage agreement. Any idea on when we're going to hear from the unions, or a formal announcement on the strike being over?
So we do understand that unions are currently in discussions with SAA, possibly just trying to finalize everything, dotting the I's and crossing the T's. But we do understand that they will come out shortly and brief the media. They've been in that meeting since about 10 o'clock today. So it's just literally a wait and see kind of thing. I need to put more sunblock on because the sun is quite harsh today. But members are waiting. We're all waiting to see when those leaders will come out and, of course, get official comment from SAA and what they have to say about the strike being over, when people will return back to work. And is the strike, in fact, officially over? I think that's the big question here. So it's a wait and see for now, Gareth.
It is indeed. Anybody near Heidi Jokas at the airport, take her some sunscreen and maybe a big brim hat. It's going to be a long day for our Heidi Jokas. You can follow her as well on Twitter at Heidi Jokas. We'll check in with you again a little bit later.